All right, we're here. Finally here. We finally actually start the damn script. I think this is like the fourth Granblue stream I've done tonight. We're finally here. I'll be doing this for a little bit, then we'll save a little bit more for tomorrow. So let's not dilly-dally. Let's get the show on the road. Okay. This video is not going to be released anytime soon. Probably even like the next 6 days, maybe. Because this is a long one. This is definitely going to be a long one. Okay. All right. Let's go. How do we want to start this? Also, unless you're an adult, don't drink, as usual. Oh, that sounds terrible. Okay. Anyways, let's go. Okay. It was, what if, it sounds a little bit, wow. I don't want to go that crazy into that. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. What if love you crave isn't love at all, but a desperate attempt to stop yourself from disappearing? What if every smile, every act of affection, every ounce of kindness you've ever shown was just a camouflage? Not a reflection of your soul, but a mask once stitched together. Not a reflection of your soul, but a mask. Once stitched together from expectations, survival instincts, and even unspoken terror that if you ever stop being useful, you stop being real. Okay, so I gotta definitely take a little pause at mask. So let's read that again. What if the love you crave isn't love at all, but a desperate attempt to stop yourself from disappearing? What if every smile, every act of affection, every ounce of kindness you've ever shown was just a camouflage? Not a reflection of your soul, but a mask, one stitched together from expectations, survival instincts, and even unspoken terror that if you stopped being useful, you stopped being real. Okay, I like that. Yo, what's up? Yeah, I did. Sorry about that. Just work. Even if it's my day off, it's never my day off. Okay. Dissociation. Where should I put this? See what this is at. What if the love you crave isn't love at all, but a desperate attempt to stop yourself from disappearing? What if every smile, every act of affection, every ounce of kindness you've ever shown was just a camouflage? Not just a reflection of your soul, but a mask, one stitched together from expectations, survival instincts, and even unspoken terror that if you ever stop being useful, you stop being real. This is the tragedy of Vira, a girl born into a world that never asked who she was, only what she could become. A society that prized perfection over personhood, where silence was grace, obedience was survival, and love was conditional. She was raised not to feel, but to perform. And when she found warmth, real warmth, in another, it wasn't freedom. It was the beginning of a new prison, because Katalina didn't just save her, Katalina defined her. Vera's love was never about romance. It was a cry from a hollow place, a place where the self had no shape, no voice, only need. Where a place where the self had no shape, no voice, only need. Okay, that's fine. And that need would grow. It would twist until the lines between fixation blurred into something far more terrifying, a self that cannot survive without someone else's gaze to hold it together. Okay. I already had a quote already picked out. I just gotta see if we can use it yet. Probably can. Intros are always hard just because you gotta set the pacing. If I don't do this right, it's gonna just fall apart even before I can get to the damn body of the passage. So for now, I like it. I might change a couple of things, but for now, it's good. We're using Rainier Maria Rilke. We're gonna be using that quote. I just gotta think how the hell I use it, because it's not early, but it's not late. I think we're in a good spot to use it. Just give me a second to think about myself. As usual, don't drink unless you're an adult. It's a very bad habit. This is a weird concoction of Jack Daniels and Four Loko. I'm going straight to hell, or somewhere near. Okay. Yeah, as usual, always keep notes. One's very deep. You can always keep notes. You never know when they come in handy. I am afraid. I am afraid of what I know is in me and what I cannot summon. So, just that's the good thing about her. She knows something is wrong. Other Yanderes, no, 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 no. It's the rest of the world that's the problem, not me. So there's a path to improvement. No, let's not do that. I was about to do something stupid there. Usher. I'm having a little fluff. Don't mind me. Vira, why do you have to be so complex? That's great. It's a complex, but holy shit, it's cool. It's cool. We'll work something out here. Long. Is that the right one to use? See, the thing is, the more I write, the more I dig myself into very funny situations and rabbit holes. Because now, since I wrote this, it's like, what happens when the one thing anchoring you, begins to drift away. You know, we'll just roll with it. We'll tackle whatever comes down our way, some way, somehow. We have the power of plot, a lot of time on our hands, and alcohol to guide me. And cookies, too, apparently. This has actually been probably the fifth stream I've done today. I've done 4 of these, and I just finished up the horror one. So holy crap, I had actually been streaming all day, and it's gonna be the same thing tomorrow too. I'll get up early, continue this, because I need to get these done before I need to get these done before I go on leave. These will be done before I go on leave, but I just want to make sure we're at a good pace. Like I don't want these to be delayed so much, even though I have plenty of time coming up, because we have a 4-day coming up. For people that don't know, a 4-day is literally what it is. We're off Friday, we don't have to come back until Tuesday. Oh my god, this is still the intro. Yes, it is still the intro. Okay. Right, still the intro, still the intro, still the intro. Yeah, guy. Hey, Vira, look at just the Yandere traits. She's a complex character. There's more to her than just being batshit crazy Katalina. She gets a very bad rap. I mean, we can't deny that. She definitely does. Because Vira was never Vira was never crazy. Vira was never crazy. Because Vira was never crazy. She was I think we got something going. I think. Hmm. Okay, let's. Oh my God. Wow, that's long. That's very long. You already tell. Like, this is. I'm at a page for the intro. Holy shit, this will be a long video. Last time I checked with the damn outline, we were at 24 sections. God have mercy on me. All right. What if the love you crave isn't love at all, but a desperate attempt to stop yourself from disappearing? What if every smile, every act of affection, every ounce of kindness you've ever shown was just a camouflage? Not a reflection of your soul, but a mask. One stitched together from expectations, survival instincts, and even unspoken terror that if you ever stopped being useful, you'd stop being real. This is the tragedy of Vira, a girl born in a world that never asked who she was, only what she could become. As society that excuse me, a society that prized perfection over personhood, where silence was grace, obedience was survival, and love was conditional. She was raised not to feel, but to perform. And when she found warmth, real warmth, in another, it wasn't freedom. It was the beginning of a new prison. Because Catalina didn't just save her, didn't save her, didn't just save her. Catalina defined her. Vera's love was never about romance. It was a cry from a hollow place, a place where the self had no shape, no voice, only need. And that need would grow, it would twist. Oh, hold on. And that need didn't just only grow, it would twist, until the lines between fixation blurred into something far more terrifying, a self that cannot survive without someone else's gaze to hold it together. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what I know is in me and what I cannot summon. Rainier Maria Rilke. Rilke's words haunt us here because Vera knows that something is broken inside of her, something unstable, buried deep beneath the smile and noble posture, but she cannot summon the strength to confront it, so she thinks. Behind her knightly duties, behind Catalina, behind the fantasy that love, if clung tightly enough, can become identity. But what happens when that what happens when the one thing anchoring you begins to drift away? This is not a video of yandere tropes or stereotypes, anime archetypes. This is a descent into something far more human, a portrait of someone who was never allowed to exist unless she was needed. A story of obsession, not as madness, but as survival. A tragedy shaped not by love, but the absence of self. This is a story few are willing to tell, even few are ready to understand. Because Vera was never crazy. She was just trying not to disappear. Let me just read this one section one more time. Da, 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 da. Because Vera knows that something is broken inside of her, something unstable, buried deep beneath the smile and noble posture. But she cannot summon the strength to confront it. So she thinks. Behind her knightly duties, behind Catalina, behind the fantasy that love, if clung tightly enough, can become identity. But what happens when the one thing anchoring you begins to drift away? This is not a video of yandere tropes or anime archetypes. This is a descent into something far more human, a portrait of someone who was never allowed to exist unless she was needed, a story of obsession not as madness but as survival, a tragedy shaped not by love but the absence of self. This is a story few are willing to tell, even few are ready to understand, because Vera was never crazy. She was trying not to disappear. Give me one sec. Hold on. Fortunately, my PC name has my IRL name, so I'm not trying to get doxxed. Y'all are trying. I forgot to actually save this. Yeah, this introduction is at one page, buddy. Fuck. It's already gonna be a doozy, but I think this introduction is relatively good. I don't think we need to change anything like too crazy, but damn. We'll worry about that later. Let's continue writing because again, there's a lot of stuff we have to write. Yeah, we're trying to leave no stone left uncovered, but damn, might have shot myself in the foot with this one, which is fine because this is a request. I do take on requests, so it's what it is. But, oh wow. Loving, but it's affectionate also. doesn't. It really doesn't. It throws deprivation. Deprivation. A word you're being an asshole to the word. You are fine. You're out. Each their own, mind you. Gods, each their own. Reality is it jealousy. Not bad. Let's read what I actually have right now. She's often called a yandere. This label sticks. It flatters the trope-driven audience, offering a dangerous beauty, a controlled madness, something digestible. But labels often form erasure. They make unbearable. They make unbearable. Hold on. Can I use that? I think. Uh, hmm. Make the unbearable palatable. Yeah, we can use it. Yeah, we can use it. Okay, that's fine. We can use it. They make the unbearable palatable. In Vira's case, they also make the unspoken easier to ignore. Yandere is a word born from contradiction. Yanderu meaning sick, dere dere meaning affectionate or loving. You want it's the same thing. A person who loves so deeply they begin to corrode. In the media, it's a trope. A girl who smiles sweetly as she unravels. A lover who stabs out of devotion. But fiction often overlooks the foundation. Obsession doesn't appear in a vacuum. It grows from deprivation, from instability, from a soul that was told early on they must earn the right to feel. Vera displays classic signs. She fixates obsessively and exclusively on Katalina. Her diary is filled with devotion that reads more like a prayer than memory. Her jealousy turns icy and violent, especially when others attempt to get close to Catalina. She is possessive, she's relenting, but none of it is random. It's a coping mechanism draped in elegance, because what people call a trope is often a cry, and what they call madness is frequently unprocessed grief. Yeah, I'm liking the way this is sounding so far. This is pretty good. We can still go into a little bit more detail about this. Wait, I think I'm 45 minutes in. We can go on for an hour. Then tomorrow morning when I get up, I'll continue on with this. We can talk about the actual IRL stuff. So there are. Word. Why are you cringe? Katalina, Vira, you are a very complex munchkin, very much so. Hmm. You know, it's bad that there's something else I didn't mention in my outline that I just remembered right now, and I'm like, oh shit, I can probably use that. God damn it, Vera. That's obsessive compulsive behavior. How can I forget about that? There's even obsessive compulsive behavior, which literally is her diary. Ritualized. She maintains uh devotion. And we can't forget about trauma bonding. Yeah, in a sense, yeah, but there's other forms of trauma bonding. For example, yours truly. I'm a soldier. I trauma bonded with my other trainees in basic. We went through a lot of shit together and we bonded together. That's a form of trauma bonding. So there's multiple forms of trauma bonding. Okay. This is really long. All right. We can still go, again. We can. There's a lot of detail we can still go into, which we're gonna do because this video apparently has no time limit or time frame. It's just gonna go until it goes. It better not be an hour long because I don't even know how my voice is gonna handle that. Okay. So, wait. Oh yeah, she is. So she's trapped. I can smell right now. It's tragic because again, she's a complex character. It's just just the meme, the Yandere stigma, just like destroys her. I'm gonna quote somebody real quick. I'm actually gonna quote somebody. Back when my tournament days, she's crazy but hot. Oh my god, people! I miss my tournament days. You've seen the most unhinged, cringy people imaginable. Touchline. Crazy but hot. Uh, here's another one. Wife material if she doesn't kill me. I'm like, oh man, I miss my tournament days. I do. She doesn't kill you. There we go. That's a little bit better. Wife material doesn't kill you. Tragedy. All right, where did I screw up on it? Oh yeah, right there. As usual. That's fine. Synthesized. I like that. We love our broken dolls as long as they shatter beautifully. Again, copyright TM. I'm taking this shit. You heard it. You heard it here. Me and my drunken stupor. We love our broken dolls as long as they shatter beautifully. TM. This cringy YouTube lore guy. Now where the hell am I gonna actually? No, I got something. Word, do not correct me. God damn it, Word. Fine. I, yes, we can't do run-ons. I'm still TMing this shit. So we love our broken dolls if they shatter beautifully. It's the consequence. It's the consequence. Consequence. It's made a fraction. Holy shit. We'll pray for my voice when I dub this. I'm already not looking forward to this. She's often called a yandere. The label sticks. It flatters the trope-driven audience, offering a dangerous beauty, a controlled madness, something digestible. But labels are often like, oh damn, fuck! I've gone through this whole entire Elden Ring song. Holy shit! Yes, I did go through this entire Elden Ring song. It's been an hour. Holy shit! It's been an hour. Sorry. Hey, all right, back to this. All right. She's often called a yandere. The label sticks. It flatters the trope-driven audience, offering a dangerous beauty, a controlled madness, something digestible. But labels often form erasure. They make the unbearable palatable. In Vira's case, they also make the unspoken easier to ignore. Yandere is a word born from contradiction, yanderu meaning sick, and dere meaning affectionate. The person who loves so deeply they begin to corrode. In the media, it's a trope, a girl who smiles sweetly as she unravels, a lover who stabs out of devotion. But fiction often overlooks the foundation. Obsession doesn't appear in a vacuum. It grows from deprivation, from instability, from a soul that was told early on it must earn its right to feel. Vera displays classic signs. She fixates obsessively and exclusively on Katalina. Her diary is filled with devotion that reads more like a prayer than memory. Her jealousy turns icy and violent, especially when others attempt to get close to Katalina. She's possessive. She's relenting. But none of it is random. It's a coping mechanism draped in elegance. Because what people call a trope is often a cry, and what they call madness is frequently unprocessed grief. There's a real world there are real world psychological profiles that echo what we see in her. The abandonment, the unstable sense of self, the emotional extremes. These aren't inventions of fiction. Whoops. That's why you always proofread. These aren't inventions of fiction. They mirror a borderline personality disorder, BPD, where the threat of being left behind is enough to break the world open. Her reliance on Katalina to anchor her identity, her inability to feel real without being needed, share space with traits from dependent personality disorder, DPD. There's even obsessive compulsive behavior, ritualizing how she maintains her diary and her ideal of devotion. And deeper still, trauma bonding, where the one who saves you becomes the only one who matters, no matter how distant or unavailable they are. Vera isn't simply in love. She is trapped in a neurological and emotional loop, one where Catalina is not a person, but a symbol of safety, of worth, of being allowed to exist. But we don't talk about that. Instead we turn her into a meme, a punchline, crazy but hot, wife material if she doesn't kill you. The tragedy is aestheticized. Her pain becomes part of her charm. We love our broken dolls. We love our broken dolls if they shatter beautifully. TM, this is what this is what's often missed. Vera's obsession is not the root of her character; it's the consequence. She didn't begin as unstable. She was made to fracture. Excuse me. She was made to fracture by a world that only valued her for performance, by a childhood that taught her affection had to be earned, and by a bond that, for all its warmth, became the only thing keeping her from emotional collapse. She doesn't love too hard. She was never taught how to love at all. And now, with everything she is tied to, someone else's gaze, her survival depends on not letting go. Because if she's not needed, she might not be real. Ugh. Okay. I think it's 8:15. Uh, all right. Keep going. The sun's down and it's still 97 degrees. very sassy with that one. This is what I call me just cooking right now. I'm just going in. Well, we'll fix things when I actually read this over again. Okay. I should honestly just call them squires, but I won't call them squires. I actually am getting fucking tired right now. Okay. Alright, old age is actually starting to like hit me good, so let me just read what I have, and then tomorrow when I wake up, we'll continue on with this. Long before Vera became obsessed, she was alone. What the fuck? Ew. Why did that? Okay, now it's on me. That's how you know I'm just tired right now. Long before Vera became obsessed, she was alone. She was raised within the cold ceremonial halls of Albion, a society defined not by compassion but by hierarchy, order, and image. From the moment she was old enough to understand the world, she was taught that feelings were dangerous. Emotions, especially messy ones like sadness, anger, and longing, were seen as indulgent distractions, signs of weakness. What mattered was discipline, control, affection. In a system, a child does not grow. In this system, a child does not grow. They are molded. Vera, more than most, molded well. Beneath every accolade she earned, Vera felt the unspoken cost. If she faltered, if she failed, the warmth would vanish. To be seen, she had to be flawless. To be loved, she had to be useful. So she adapted. She became the model student, the ideal knight, But every performance cost her something until eventually there was nothing left. There was almost nothing left. And then came Katalina. To the world, Katalina was a model night. But I'll add that tomorrow. Okay, good stuff. We did this for like an hour. This is like legitimately like the 5th stream I've done today. So about 5 hours worth of work. So tomorrow when I get up, we'll do some more of this. So good shit. I'll see people tomorrow. Have a good one. Good night.